Hey guys, I have another index card to share with you today. I'm starting out with a coat of gesso on my index card, and then I have little scraps of paper. There's some from a vintage math book, but you can't tell that it's a vintage, that it's a math book because it doesn't have any printing on it, but I just like the color of the paper. And then I also have some pieces of sheet music. And at this point, I didn't have a plan for this card. I just sometimes if I don't have an idea and I start gluing down paper, it kind of gets that creative process going, the forward motion of just doing something. So after all my paper is glued down and I glued it down with some Collage Page matte, I'm going over everything with a light coat of gesso. And now I'm taking some Lindy Stamp Gang Magicals in Teapot Purple and Cheshire Cat Cherry. Magicals are basically pigment powders, and then when you get them wet, they become more intense and you can see the color. I'm just sprinkling the two colors all over my card with a real fluffy brush, and then after I get enough pigment down, I'm going to rub it into the card with my finger. I'm rubbing pretty lightly. I don't want the pigment to completely like move off the paper, but I want it to get into the paper so that it stays down. So I'm looking for a stamp now, and I couldn't decide between the circles or the triangles, but I decided to go with the Viva Las Vegas Stamps writing triangle stamp. And I'm spraying my stamp with water away from my paper so that the water doesn't activate the pigment. And then I'm stamping the stamp that has the water on it onto my card, and that will activate the pigments from the magicals. And after I stamp onto my card, I'm stamping off on a piece of scrap paper so that the stamp doesn't have that pigment powder on it and affect the next stamping. So I just do that a couple times, spray the stamp with water, stamp on the card, and then stamp off on a piece of scrap to get a couple rows of those triangles on there. And then I'm going to dry it with my heat tool, and then I'm taking my fluffy brush and just brushing all over the card to get the extra pigment off. And even though I brushed most of that pigment off, I spritzed the card from kind of far away, like maybe 6 or 12 inches away. I spritzed the card with my water bottle, and that activated some more of that pigment to get some more color in the background. Now I'm going with my Squiggly Garden. It's called Doodle Flower Garden from Viva Las Vegas Stamps. And I'm just stamping that with some of the Black Soot archival ink, and then also going around the edges with that ink pad. And then I'm looking for a sentiment strip from the Tim Holtz Small Talk sticker sheet, and pretty simple card today. I'm just putting that down and calling it a day for this card. After I was done, I did outline my sentiment with a red watercolor pencil. And that completes the card for today. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave it down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, or you can click on the screen to watch these other videos to get more inspiration, and also subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.